welcome back to another episode of Iron Towns Engineering. And today you join us in our partially finished little bit of a home workshop. This isn't the main workshop, this is one of the little rooms that's attached to the house, and I have done a bit of magic in here, so it's made it into a nice fabrication room. But we ain't here to talk about that today. We're going to be working on this. Now, the last time you saw that, I was doing all the servicing and bits and pieces like that on it. Well, now that's all out of the way, because I was waiting for the coilovers from Gaz. Well, they're here. Look! Mate, they're all here. If I can even get in the box. Oh, C-span is lovely. You're so pretty there. Oh yes, look at that. Gaz coilovers with 300-pound springs. Fucking lovely job. The only beef I got with it though, there is no top mount, right? There weren't even an option for a top mount. So, obviously what you're meant to do is use the top mounts what are already on the truck. Well, I don't like that, I want a bit of adjustability. So, before we fit these to the car, or to the truck, we're gonna make some adjustable top mounts. So yeah, we have now got to get this strut off the truck, and then we can take it to work and actually draw out adjustable top mount. So this is what we're dealing with basically. From what I can see here, we've obviously got the brake line attached to it there. Knock this out, hopefully it'll come out of the way. I'm not sure because someone's added a hard line, so I might have to just undo all of that. We've got a pinch bolt on the back here, so that should hopefully drop out of there. And then you'll have a top mount underneath the seat, a bolt underneath the seat. So let's get that all off so we can take it to work and actually get going. Right, so we now got the standard front shocks off, and I think it was about time because they are crusty, they are weepy. I think they're just about done, to be fair. So I marked reference to where the front of this top mount goes, so where the actual bolt holes and that line up for it to be the front. So ideally we obviously need to make the top mount now what makes it slide backwards and forwards. So let's get them to work and draw something up. So we got them to work and we separated the top mounts from the struts. This is what we're left with. So, manky ass top mount. I marked on there where it was in relation to the side, so the camber plates will have to be this way. So I started looking for pillar bearings and stuff, and I just thought it was getting quite expensive. I think they're about like 20 quid for a pillar bearing or something. I was like, nah. So you can buy adjustable top mounts for about 30 quid. So I bought some. I bought these Max Speed and Rod adjustable camber plates, the top mounts. So the idea is going to be, we're going to adapt this one for with the same PCD that this one's got. So let's get on with that. So I started off by marking the centre point on these original top mounts while they were still in the car. If you don't do this, you're buggered, because you need to know where the centre line is for the adjustableness of it. I then had to think of a way on how I was going to actually transfer them over to these new top mounts. The PCD weren't right, nothing like that, but you have to make sure that obviously the straight slots and all that are in the centre line of it. If not, it's going to be not as adjustable as you want it to be, and your ratings are all going to be all out. So I then started off by removing the nuts, getting ready to mark the PCD.
So I now needed to transfer the size of the PCD from the old top mount onto the new one. I'd already worked out the size of the old top mount's PCD, so I just needed to transfer it on this one. So to find the center line on this one, what I done was I measured the inside of that pillow bearing and then I halved it, so it gave me the center point. After that, I then took half that away from that outside and I was able to scribe around the new one to be able to get the PCD. I now then started removing all the bits of the pieces of the pillow bearing, ready to get it to our Victorian fly press to press out all the studs. So now all the studs are pressed out. It wasn't too technical here. I basically had to lay on the old top mount so I could get a rough reference point of where the bolts were going to be, and then obviously line them up with the PCD I'd scribed earlier. So I just put a little mark down the side on where each one of the studs were going to be, and then obviously drew the line into where the PCD was going to be. It wasn't too technical, let's be fair. This was just a look and get all the slots and the grooves in the right area. I could have faffed about for ages trying to find out exactly where they're meant to be, but this actually worked a treat. And if I mucked it up, it was only like a 30 quid pair of top mounts. So once that was all marked out, I then took them over to the dermatitis machine and started to manually drill all the holes out, ready for the new studs. These ones were going to be M10s with a serrated edge, so I basically just sat there and had to work out what they needed to be so that the serrated teeth would actually lock into place rather than be flapping about like a prick in a top hat. And that is one top mount drilled. Now I've got to cut it to the right shape. And this is what it looks like after a little bit of cutting with a grinder. So we've got that all to the same shape as the original top mounts now, as you can see here. Now we've got to press the studs back in and then we can test it out. Just like that, they're done. So this is what they're like all assembled. I tested the passenger one already and it fits. I just got to open the holes out in the truck a little bit more because those ones are M8, these ones are M10, so I'm just going to drill out the ones in the truck to M10 and they should go straight in. So I've done the other one as well. So what we need to do now is get the coilovers in and make sure that the spring is actually going to fit on the underside of these. Let's do that.
A few minutes later.
So we've gone and got the gas coilovers from the van. So these are the fronts, and how it normally goes is like that, and then you have the old top mount and it sits on there like that. So then you bolt it up at the top there and it's all sat underneath it like this. That's great, but I don't want that. So these are the top mounts that we've made. Put it on there. This shock will come further through, but I don't like how that's sat on there like that. So what we're going to do, and we also need to make another one of these little bushes which keeps everything central, as you can see, slopping about on that thread. So need to make a new one of these for both of them. But also what we're going to do is we're going to take this bit, we're going to face all this off so it's flat, and then we're going to bore this hole out so that this hole sits inside there, and then we can put it all together. So that's now all the modifications done to the front coilovers. So what we've done in the end was we bored out this bit so it still sits in there, and then top mount, this bit here slides down, fits inside it, And then we turned these up out of stainless to replace this washer, or this bush. It slides down into there, and then we can stick a nut on top of it. So, that's one coilover loosely assembled.
Now we can go put them on the truck.
So, with the coilovers and the top mounts now all done and ready to go on, it's time to put them on the truck.
But you ain't seeing that yet, because I didn't realise that this video was already about 10 minutes long. So, that's going to be on the next one. So, once again guys, cheers for watching Iron Towns Engineering. Don't forget to like and subscribe, tell your mates, tell your nan, all that kind of stuff, because it does really help the channel. And I'll see you on the next one. Cheers guys!